science, technology, engineering, math subjects are considered the most important because in the job market, the STEM subjects gives you the most viable opportunities. Um, but that's good. I can understand that, and maybe I should also say that and nowadays the trend is changing. Even non-STEM subjects, it is viable in the job market. Not just STEM subjects, but even non-STEM subjects, people are able to find jobs. For example, companies like Google, Facebook, and all are recruiting humanities graduates, psychologists, designing their products to come up with requirements and all that. They need people with humanities and psychology degrees and all that. So that's changing. It's not that only STEM subjects folks are finding jobs. Even non-STEM has improved over time, but still it is minority, and hence such a focus on STEM subjects to the extent that children are getting trained for all these competitive exams, your JEEs and NEET and all that from a very young age, and then they are not able to cope up with the pressure and associated disasters after that. Well, that's a different topic to discuss altogether. What I want to talk today is about how the non-STEM subjects, the relevance of non-STEM subjects are getting lost, while the STEM subjects might be the most viable in the job market. It is the non-STEM subjects where your character building, your personality building is happening. And to ignore that, okay, or not giving it the importance that it deserves is not good for the society, is not good for the children. By that I mean how we teach English language or history and civics. It is so important because you see, we don't have separate periods in our timetable, in our school timetable for things such as gratitude, empathy, compassion and all that. You don't have a gratitude period, empathy period and all that. You have your science, maths, English, history and all that. So in that, it is during these English periods or history periods, through the stories, through the poems, through explaining how the world has evolved over time. It is how you explain these stories to the children, that is where they learn many of these life skills, whether it is empathy, connecting with another person's emotions. I mean, that's what is supposed to happen when you learn a story, learn a poem, or even history is nothing but story of people, right? Story of what has happened to the many different people over time, right? So that is the best way to teach children empathy, making them connect to another human being, right? So we are losing a big opportunity here when we are not focusing on teaching the non-STEM subjects right. And the key word here being teaching them right, okay? Because if you ask, any children, even adults, including teachers, almost everybody says that, English language or history, civics, all these are boring subjects. But it is not boring. The subjects are not boring. It is the way it is taught. That is what is making it boring. What happens in an average classroom? If it is English language, the lesson is taught, the stories or poems is read through. You do the question answers and you move on. But you don't have time necessarily to stop and reflect on the story, on the characters, okay, why somebody did what they did and all that. I mean, this reflection and appreciation is often not happening in classrooms. For instance, the 7th standard textbook, of my son, I saw this poem, In Time of Silver Rain by Langston Hughes. A beautiful poem, but it's a simple poem on rain, falling on the earth and new blooms coming and all that. too simple a poem, right? But then I got my answer in the appreciation section. There was an assignment to write a diary note as a farmer, a drought hit farmer waiting for the first rain. Now look at it. What a beautiful way to teach empathy, right? Who is a better person than a farmer to appreciate the value of rain? And what a beautiful assignment to think like a farmer, to connect to another human being who values rain so much. But sadly, the children did not get to do the assignment, because there was no time. Portions had to be completed, exams had to be conducted, so it was skipped. In fact, this is our only window to teach these values. And another point is, most kids, because they pursue STEM subjects in for their higher studies, most people are learning these subjects only till their 10th standard, only till they are 15 years old and all that, and hence it becomes even more important, right? During this window, right, from let's say from 5th standard to 10th standard, how we are teaching them, whether it is language, not just English, it could be Hindi or any other native language, and social studies subjects. It is so important how we teach them, right? For example, when you teach them world history, right? When you tell the story of China, let's say, how China was hit by these, long periods of famines, and how the Chinese were forced to eat insects and all that as a source of protein because of their desperate situation. If you tell the story like that, the children will not judge them for their weird eating habits. So, if you ask me who is the most powerful person on earth, I will say teachers. And to be more specific, I'll say teachers who are teaching these non-STEM subjects, English, social studies. Why I'm saying is that these are the people who can influence the thinking ability of a generation, of a child. That is power, okay? I think that is more powerful than US President or Elon Musk or anybody in the world. But I wish that everyone realized this potential and made full use of it. And at Open Your Mind, that's what we're trying to do. Trying to bridge the gap and tapping into the unused potential of these non-STEM subjects and encouraging children to think. That is our primary objective.